Gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tanek127 and welcome back to another Skyforge PlayStation 4 video. And today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some, simple tips, give you a little bit of advice and everything about getting your prestige rank up. Now, Distortion B2 is just around the corner. I believe it's about 5 days away if I'm not mistaken. Well, by the time you guys see this video, it'll be 3 or 4 days, but you get the picture. It's close. Distortion B2 available in 5 days. The minimum prestige level recommendation. Now, you can go in there less or more, obviously. For B1 was 65K. So I'm going to take a fair guess and say that B2 is going to be anywhere between 80 and 100K. I don't know. I'm honestly just taking a guess. I'm honestly not too sure. But so your question is, you're probably going to want to get your prestige ranked higher. But there's a few other things I want to make sure you guys looked at as well. When it comes to prestige, because keep in mind that's not the only important factor. When it comes to your character, you actually have a lot of things here that you want to work on. Prestige mainly, that's a big thing, but also, one thing you want to make sure two other things you want to make sure that you're working on are your might and your combat superiority. Now, the reason these things are so important, and keep in mind, guys, you also know that the latest patchwork have put caps on everything. So I get it, it's hard to level and stuff like that. So we're gonna start first with talking about prestige. To get your prestige up, the best thing I can recommend at this point, honestly, is farming gear. Now, I've said this, in a previous video, the best way to farm gear: raid, and raid. Raiding, hard mode dungeons, hard mode instances, those ones with the 4 and 5 stars, the ones that really make you scream and cringe. Those are the instances, those are the dungeons and the raids you want. That Operation Medea hard mode, that Operation Isabella hard mode, that Operation Ophelia, those are the ones you want to run. They're the ones that are that are the real pain in the ass. I hate to say it, but that's where you're going to get the good gear. And you always want to make sure to get your gear pieces at the highest modifiers, which is 2.30. As you guys can see, my brooch here, I have a 1.72. Another good thing to also run is the distortion until you get to 2.30. It is going to take a bit of farming. You're going to need to get yourselves a good stable group. I'm not gonna lie. Getting people to stick around for a while to do multiple runs, doing multiple runs to try and get everyone to get a 2.3. It can be a tedious and very long process. Like, I believe I've probably ran Distortion B1 probably 30 times, and I still don't have a 2.3. The highest I have is a 1.72. You just gotta pray that RNGesus is on your side. But when it comes to prestige, the best thing to do, honestly, at this point, to my recommendation, is focus on getting your gear up. Because when you get these Generation 1 pieces, they raise you anywhere between 10 and 20k at a time. So getting your prestige level up isn't too hard. Now, the second thing you want to worry about is obviously your might, which is the stat right here in the right corner where it says stats. As you guys see, my might is 19,032. For might, the best thing I can recommend, honestly, I would say farm followers. I'm probably still going to say farm followers, but now followers unfortunately have a cap. And for those who don't know, the best place to farm followers, if you don't know what that is and the best way to do it, I'll show you guys right here on the screen. And it's going to sound crazy, but the best place to farm followers is Factory 501. If you want to, a better chance of more followers, being there, I'm going to suggest putting it on its 5-star tier difficulty. Best rewards, best items and stuff like that. Not to mention getting better gear pieces and everything, and then do it in your god form, get your divine deeds and all that stuff. But running on 5-star difficulty, Factory 501, it's real quick, real easy. There's 2 bosses in there, and you can once you're around, the 50-60K area, you can easily, just run through that place in a quick 5 or 10 minutes. And usually I find between, I'm going to say 3 I'm gonna say between 3 and 6 followers per run. So if if you can get through there in 10 minutes, and you get between 3 and 6 of one a run, that's about, I can say maybe 20 plus followers and 20 plus followers an hour. Not the greatest number in the world, but it's definitely not too bad. Now, the other thing that I really want to suggest that you guys focus on is your combat superiority. Now, if you come over here to Flavius's laboratory, you guys are going to see that he's going to give you, these quests you could do. As you guys can see, if you look down here at the bottom right hand corner where that little number is, it says 33. I'm very behind on mine. I don't do these too often, and that's one of my biggest problems. But as you guys can see, I have 7% combat superiority. Now, the reason this is so important is because these stats and traits, they always affect you against that specific race of enemies. So, as you guys can see, for example, damage to all fighting eyes is increased by 3%. Damage taken from fighting eyes is reduced by 3%. Damage dealt is increased by 2.5%. And and it also does stats that increase your overall character. Not all these stats just apply to, that race of enemies. A lot of these apply to your overall character overall. So, you're making yourself stronger. And I do believe working on these increases your might and prestige as well. Don't quote me on that. If I'm wrong, feel free to call me out in the comments or whatever, but I'm pretty sure this helps your overall stats and might and prestige as well. So combat superiority, remember, it's a good thing, especially when you're doing when you have an invasion going on at the time. You want to make sure you're focusing on the specific tree that goes against that invasion. So if you're invaded by Phytonoids, go for the Phytonod tree. Mechanoids, go for the Mechanoid tree. Reaper, etc., etc. You guys get the gist. So make sure you're doing all your quests, all your dailies and stuff like that. It's a grind. It's tedious. I get that. But if you want the absolute best character, best stats, top of the line gear, make sure you're raiding, getting all your gear pieces at their 2.3 percent increase. Make sure you're working on your combat superiority, and make sure you're farming followers. Those are my 3 best recommendations to increase your prestige and your overall character's power as efficiently as possible. Now, like I said, guys, the caps make these things a little difficult, but as long as you focus on those 3 things, you'll have a great build in the end. And from there, it's just about finding a weapon that you like that's good for you. Make sure you get yourself at least a blue or purple tier weapon if there's any available. I know a good weapon is coming out with Distortion B4, but that one's not going to be out for, I believe, another couple weeks. So you do have alternatives that are blue that come with a good mic count and stuff like that. But just a good weapon, an artifact that finds that works good for you. Whether you're a tank, you want some more defense or HP. Whether you're a DPS and you want to just pump out more damage or a better crit rate, or whether you're support and you want something that buffs your support skills and stuff like that. Whatever works for your character with the weapon and artifact department. That kind of depends on your overall build, what you're trying to do. But those 3 things, guys, I think are really important. Increasing your character's prestige and just overall power. So if you want to just get a nice, strong, bulky character, ready for end game, just ready to do everything, focus on those 3 things: prestige, might, and combat superiority. That's my honest recommendation, guys. But anyway, if y'all enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that thumbs up button for me. And I want to thank you all so much for watching. It's your boy Tenep127, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time, peace out, take care.